Hello, this is my buying guide on Omen. I do prefer Brim on this map, but I think Omen is pretty fun on this map. I do enjoy playing him on this map, so I'm going to show you some basic stuff on Omen, and we're going to start with defense on A. So the first thing is going to be the spokes. So spokes on A short is going to be this one. It has like this little pocket here, so if they try to cross to this side over here, they can be punished. So usually you might have someone playing an off angle here, potentially like a Yoru, a Raze or something. And they can play this off angle pretty decently and get kills with that smoke sometimes. The other two smokes you might do on A are going to be this one for showers. So this one's just for taking showers, and this one is for defending site from showers. So yeah, pretty easy smokes to understand, pretty good smokes to use. And that's kind of it for the smokes on A. And honestly, there's more fun smokes on attack than there are on defense. Bear in mind that when you're like retaking A, which actually we'll talk about that very soon. So let's go on to paranoia. There's a nice paranoia line here that you can use for short, for your teammates to use usually, and there's also one here for showers. Both these are completely fine and good to use. That's pretty much it for paranoia. You can also use it in like conjunction with like Raze nade as well, and that kind of stuff is pretty strong because they can't hear the nade come in, so you can do it quite deep like this, where it hits this, and then Raze can nade it from here, and they can't really hear the nade come in. They're kind of blind, so it can be quite good. Usually they'll like be scared that they're blind though, so they might run back out the nade. So next we're going to talk about shredded step. So basically you just want to keep getting on any elevation you can. That's actually kind of good. This one's not that good, but the truck is really good because you can like tuck here and then they can like run onto site. You can get one and drop, so it's pretty good here. You can have like off angles up here as well. Basically on these elevations you really want to have like a position, like you want to be in a position where you can like just about get on there, and then you can get a kill and you can drop basically instantly. That's the reason why this one isn't that good, is because the place to drop to is here, and you're still going to be like swung basically, and obviously the other areas, really hard for them to actually like just straight up swing you right after you've got a kill. So yeah, these like two elevations are mainly good. You can also go up here as well. It's completely fine because it's kind of defensive. You need to be careful that you don't get run out showers, but it's really, really strong when they actually come out main. Not main, short. It's completely fine. And you can also use your shredded step, and there's plenty of ways to use shredded step, to be honest. There's so many ways to play it. Get early frags here as well in this position. You can also use it as like a way to, like, say if you want to do, like, say if you got a shorty, right, you can even like do some crazy plays like sitting in smokes like this, and you can like shredded step behind them and do some absolute crazy stuff. Obviously that probably isn't a very good play, to be honest. Especially because the you could literally have a better alternative of just sitting lamps. Is probably a better conversion, but you get the gist, right? You can make those type of plays if you want to. If you see the angle for them, then you don't be afraid to pull the trigger, use those abilities to make that sort of stuff happen. Next we talk about B. So on B, a very general premise on B is to take control of one of these lanes and keep it. And your teammate should be helping you do that, or you should be helping your teammate do that. So you need to make sure you're communicating or following your teammate around or something that allows you to both be long or both be hookah. Generally, both of you. There could be three sometimes, but very, very unlikely usually. But yeah, you should generally want to play together on B. So if you are going hookah with a teammate, you can also play shotgun. You can play shotgun here if you want to. But there are some other things you can do. You can paranoia really, really close like this. And then you can try and take some space in front of hookah, which is not usually what happens. Sometimes you can do some stuff like you can hear them run up, and then your teammate can be ready to swing. You can paranoia really close, and then they can swing their teammate. They can swing. Usually you do this with actually someone with a flash like a Phoenix. Is really strong because then you basically double flash the people in front, and then he flashes the people like deep, and generally you can get kills on either deep players. Usually you get kill on the deep players, like the players over here in this sort of region. And then the people at the front can't really help them. Usually how it goes. Or sometimes the Phoenix insta-dies as well. That's what happens. Next we go on to... actually, I've talked about shotguns, but I'll just quickly talk about, like, you can use your TP just to get out of bad situations too. So you can commit to back to, like, this, like, left side with a shotgun, and then shoot someone or shoot two, and then try and TP out onto here, and then try and get another one from the other side and that kind of stuff. TPs really makes you very, very slippery. Next we'll talk about long. So... on long, you have like a decent paranoia line here that you can do. You can also do it from over here too. Both these paranoia lines are pretty good, so you can use them whenever you need them and whenever they're relevant. So teammate could be playing over here, blind this, and then they can swing. Or they're like playing Sky maybe. So maybe at the start of the round, you can like do this. Then your Sky would be like, I'm going to flash on like X thing. So movement, sound, time on the clock, etc. And then swing off the flash with her. That sort of stuff. That sort of stuff is really, really useful. Really, really good. And this TP just makes it guaranteed that you'll get on this side. Because you can get caught if you run out here. You will meet each other about here. So you do want to like TP across if this is actually the play. Omen is one of the few agents that can do that, so you want to make sure you are using it when you can. You can also do the smoke, sorry, as well. I almost forgot this smoke. This smoke is done on Brim as well. And basically what it does is it makes the attacker ask questions if you're pushing up, if you're in the smoke, if you're not in the smoke. Hey, do we get through the smoke? We kind of need to use more util to get through this. Or would we just have to simply wait it out and waste some time on the clock? That's kind of how this smoke pans out. It's pretty good. You can also use it to take the orb as well. Or at least get your teammate to, like a Sky, to take the orb. Okay, so when it comes to like retaking B as well, retaking B can be a bit difficult. So generally when you retake B, you want to be flanking or taking the TP, right? So don't die in out of bounds. What you do instead is you TP and just try and find fights. You can paranoia through this line as well. It's pretty good. You can also bear in mind as well, if you're against good players, they will know this too. So you can like fake it and then go CT, or you can go maybe like full flank. So you can go for like, say if they've got a Cypher, right? You can TP past the trip, so you can TP over here, and then you can go for a fast flank over here and TP through the trip. You can do stuff like that as well, which was possibly good. But generally, yeah, you don't really want to be going through CT a whole lot. When you do go through CT, you do have some options. You can like paranoia backside and try and TP backside. Then you kind of ignore this choke point and try and take space for your team. Or you can go all the way around elbow, and you can try and like flash for your teammates, TP up here. So do some stuff like this, basically. Do some crazy things. Obviously smoking hookah and smoking this choke point as well. Long garden. Can't go too far wrong either, but these mid-site smokes can also be quite good if you actually own them. So bear in mind, don't just throw this. If you actually own this smoke, sometimes it can be really, really strong if they are actually people like close to site. And that way you can kind of like fake where you're going, like where you're going to, if you're in pipe or not, or the tube or not. And that kind of stuff can be really, really strong. Working on top of the bomb as well is also a really good option. Own the smoke, and then you get to they kind of have to spam it, although they might, and if they obviously they can't check the bomb very easily. Bear in mind, like if you do this smoke and they need to check the bomb, they just need to like basically go into this smoke and they can swing you. But with this smoke, they have to run straight up to you, and then you don't even have to be on the bomb at that point. You can be like trying to wait for them to do that, kill them outside the smoke, or you can wait for them to move into the smoke and kill them. Or you can usually you can get half very easily that way as well. So bear in mind, like, yeah, smokes are really, really strong in post plant, but B is really, really horrible to retake. So taking non-conventional routes, flanks, etc. are really, really strong, or finding ways to use your TP to get you out of CT is also really good. Next we go on to A. So on A, for retaking, once again, very similar, even though A is really easy to retake. You're going to have this smoke here. My biggest recommendation for retaking A is to never go lamps. Do not go here. To retake through bench most of the time. So retake from over here. Retake from this angle and this angle and this angle, right? It's just better. You have more of the site. And when people are like stuck in lamps, like if the last player or last two players, last three players, maybe last three, are in lamps, it's really hard for them to actually win that post plant. Because there's just no good way for them to get out of lamps and fight, basically. There's just no good way for them to take good fights on you. And usually, like, it's really easy to hold these two things. Obviously, it's based on, like, the amount of players you have left, etc. But generally, you want to retake through bench. And obviously, once again, placing smokes on the bomb, pretty strong. And, yeah, you have good lines of paranoia as well from CT on, like, lamps, and you have it on short. Generally, this map is pretty good for Omen. And you don't, once again as well, you don't really need to be too tricky with the TPs. When I play Sky on this map, for instance, I'm basically always trying to TP through here to retake through showers. So if you have a Sky, this play to retake through showers is really, really strong. So I would recommend doing it as much as possible. It's just better than going through CT most of the time on bind. To use the TP instead. It's just better most of the time. Higher chances that you'll win the round because you're just taking more space on the map. you're just eliminating more areas. You're asking them to peek, like to be peeked from more angles, basically, and to like take more fights from different angles, basically. And there's going to be less angles for them to, or more angles for them to have to take fights in. They're going to struggle with. So yeah, that's going to be it for defense. So we're going to look at attack. So we're going to talk about A first. And so the first thing is going to be this one way. And you can sit on this plateau here, and you can basically one way anyone here. It really stops anyone trying to contest showers here. This one way does. You can test it fully. It's really, really hard for them to play the game with this one way up. Pretty decent. You don't exactly take the control, but you can just like keep this sort of area like kind of clear. So it's kind of good if like maybe you want to eventually TP from here to here. So have this at the start, control this at the start, and then maybe take it when they TP. Try and get the kill on someone that's maybe contesting or wanting to contest shows after the one way, that sort of stuff. Pretty strong. And then we go over to short. So on short, generally I don't do anything special up short. There can be like some paranoia here, but that's basically it. Sometimes I'm paranoid this way as well. It kind of depends on the game where I think people are and that sort of context. When it comes to the smokes, I generally actually place my smoke quite weirdly and differently. I place mine on the top of this ramp.
Cover going out.
And over here. So this is when I'm playing Omen. Obviously I only have 2 smokes, right? So it kind of sucks to, you can't really do everything on this agent, unfortunately. So these like tend to be the best smokes. Obviously you kind of hope that you have a sage sometimes when you play Omen, just for that wall. Is quite nice security. And basically the premise is that with these smokes, on some rounds I'm able to TP into the smoke while faking like this, and then I'm in here, and I also fake the TP. So a lot of people, if they know that I can fake a TP and they know it's a fake TP and they hear it or whatever, or read it, then they probably won't expect me to be up here as well. So basically it's not the best of both, where even if someone reads this play, they probably won't expect it. Expect where you are actually there, and if you're actually there. And if you do happen to do like different smokes in some random capacity, probably not like that. Probably do this smoke. Even though you don't have the heaven covered with that smoke, you know, it kind of sucks. You can do like fake TPs up here as well to contest heaven as well from here, or contest back sight from here. Yeah, just want to be careful with heaven over here, because they do have some angles on like deep angles over here. Just want to be careful with your smokes. You can actually probably have like a bit of a bias to the left, and it probably won't actually have it. Think about it. Yeah. If you bias it to the left, it maybe has like someone really deep over here, like on this angle. But other than that, they actually don't see anything. So that's honestly something I've learned right there. Just like, I should have actually known this before now, to be honest. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. You just bias it towards the left here, and it will get everything you need to get. Stop people from peeking you from heaven. And that's kind of it for the smokes. Paranoia, I've already gone over paranoia over here and one over here. You can also do ones like really deep for CT pushes. If you have like a raise, for instance, or something like that, that's like catchalled over here. You can do ones like that. And I've gone over the TPs and everything. That's kind of it for A. When it comes to like post plant A on attack, so sometimes I'll be like in here like shorty, judge, whatever. That's also something that I'll do. I'll also be on like elevation over here, or I'll be main and like using smokes in post plant like this to like flood out my own smoke in like random positions to try and contest the defuse, right? That kind of stuff is kind of how I'll play Omen on post plant. Next we go over to attacking B. And generally I'll start over here, even if I am going long, I might start over here. The reason why is because it just gives me the ability to paranoia hookah if I need to, for my teammates to sort of take hookah. Bear in mind that paranoia is kind of like, because it's a near sight, it's not always the greatest thing against like judges and things, so it's not the greatest, but it can be good for like stopping the sound of people there. So when I do paranoia, you can tell your teammates to just start running at them or throwing their util, because they can't hear it, basically. And then they can get free kills, basically because they're not able to be heard right now. They can get there on a really strong timing. And the raise nade can land right in front of the person's face. They can really have, like, it basically gives them a massive advantage. As long as I know that there's someone in there. So sometimes it's nice to have the util to be put in there for hookah. But generally, hookah is not the greatest position to be in anyway. So, you know, just sending a paranoia here sometimes, and that's the only util you send throughout your whole team, can be really, really effective because it's just one ability for taking hookah, which is usually a good rule of thumb for hookah, is that you don't really want to use too much util to take it, because it's not really that strong point of, it's not really a massive strong point of the map. Generally, long is a lot stronger because of the access to the TP. Generally, and also it's a lot easier to get out of a garden than it is to get out of hookah. So long tends to be a bit more valuable. So you want to prioritize taking long. Once again, fake TPs exist, so you can do those. Unfortunately, no cool place to TP to, but yeah, you can do those. The smokes that you'll be using on B are going to be one elbow, and there's also one CT. This is kind of like the normal smokes you would do every single time. And the paranoias you'll do are going to be left side sight. You also have one that you can do from over here if you need it for like taking long. You can also do that too. Obviously, as I said, paranoia hookah is also really, really strong. Usually I won't actually have my paranoia sometimes. Actually, I'd say I don't think I do it too much, but I do try and do it as much as possible here, just because I feel like people tend to, I think this is more of like an adaptation that I've got personally to the people in my elo, where I just want people to not use dog, boombot, flash on hookah, because there's just a lot of the time no point. Another smoke you can do is also one deep here. This is how you're going to re-smoke as well. So when you've taken the site, this is how you'll re-smoke. And the reason why you want to do that is because it stops giving them this free cross over to elbow. You do not want to keep on giving them this free cross, and it means that you have to, like, they have to like fight through this smoke and like super, like a bit deeper, right? It's just a bit harder for them to get out the smoke basically, and they don't really have access to as many options. And also as well, when you're taking this site, you can also TP up here and TP up here if you want to, TP anywhere you want to, like peek the smoke basically. You can like fully peek the smoke from here, and it's just really hard for them to get onto B site. It already is hard, and just making it a lot harder. And when it comes to actually post plant on B from attack, usually I'm going to be like, once again, in these elevations, and usually finding a way to die after getting one or two. Or I'm going to be sitting like tube and like being annoying with smokes close to me that I own, so they can't really get out, and I can like sit like this next to a smoke and things like this. Like there's plenty of like ways to play with your smokes and to be stupid with them and do some dumb things. You can even do ones like this too. Especially useful, not like that, sorry, like this. Especially useful if they have like no smokes themselves. Then you can like sit in like a really, really like elevated smoke outside the choke point, where you can like peek any angle basically on the bomb. It's like really, really strong to do things like this, to do smokes like this. Especially strong if they don't have a smoke of their own. Actually, to be fair, it will be strong if they smoke it like this. It's less strong if they smoke it like this. If they smoke on the bomb like they should, maybe not exactly like that, then it is harder to, this smoke does get less value. But if they smoke it like this, they try and smoke choke points, then this smoke gets a lot more value because it basically eliminates that smoke from the game and being useful. So yeah, that's pretty much it for, I think, the guide. So I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.